It is Wednesday, July 15th. Thought I'd try to get a quick walk in. It's in the afternoon, about 3 o'clock probably. Been weeding. Still haven't decided what I'm going to do with the tomato plants I haven't sold. There's some tomatoes on there. Thinking about thinning them out and just leaving a few to harvest. Weeded this area here, still haven't weeded in the back yet. Apple tree here is literally loaded to the ground with apples. They are everywhere. I'm going to have to put some stakes underneath it, stake them up, prune a few limbs, and take some apples off to probably save some of these limbs. The other tree is about correct for the number of apples it has. Just got to get it weeded underneath. Going to plant some seed under there. Hopefully that'll grow. Bricks, still haven't got them down yet, but I have started weeding. Been weeding as hard as I could. I broke a rib 2 or 3 weeks ago, and the hoe is not the thing to be operating with a broken rib. So broke out another tool that seems to work very well for quick weeding, and got some cardboard off the neighbor, bought some straw off the neighbors. A lot more straw than I was planning on, but it's helping keep the weeds down. Finally got this patch weeded and mulched. The bucket's sitting there. I've got a plant I transplanted, a flower, trying to get it watered and keep it alive. My smallest pineapple. I don't think it'll really be much there to eat, but it's still got a top on it. One of my larger pineapples here. They're still small, but they're very tasty. Peppers, I've got to cut some basil out and cut a few beans off here and there. A few tomato plants to remove out of them. Corn is tasseling and trying to produce ears. Sunflower is growing quite up there quite a ways. I've got a couple tall ones, most of them short this year. Thinking about getting this tree out and into a pot. I've been weeding this direction. Still a few more weeds down there to get. Got the cucumbers here weeded. Loofahs up here. A few looks like male blooms on the plant. No females yet. It'll have to get quite a bit larger, I believe. Been weeding some that direction. Red raspberries are starting to produce. That was a quail not too far off. Quite a few weeds working on here. Here's cardboard I've put down underneath this path to make it quicker. This is mostly clover. I've chopped up about as much as I could back to it. I'll straighten all this out once it's cooked a little more in the sun. Clean that up a little more. Put some more straw and cardboard and straw here. This one is about cooked and ready for straw on top. Just leave the weeds, another weed barrier, another piece of cardboard. Nice large boxes I got. Another sunflower. This one's a single head. Oh, I skipped around. Here is some of my sweet corn. This little patch isn't doing the best. It'll hopefully produce a few ears here. But this is my new corn growing up there. The camera is over my head now. There is another one. And there is some taller sweet corn tossling. These two bunches looks like it could use a little nitrogen. Over this way, the corn seems to be doing better. There's some ears being produced. This stalk has two suckers. 1, 2, 3, 4 ears trying to produce on it. This one here, possibly 3 or 4 as well. The one behind it looks to have 3, 4 ears on it. So we'll see how well they produce. Been eating peas. Kids have ate quite a few, grandkids. Cucumbers up on trellis is working somewhat well so far. New cucumber variety there. Don't remember the name. I believe it's Saigon. Tags on the other side. I believe, not sure, but that may be the only plant, or the others just haven't produced yet. But that one's clear to the top. Sunflowers. Always try to grow sunflowers near the cucumbers. They like the chemical the cucumbers put out that causes the bitterness. Gonna have to pick a few cucumbers. I forgot this one last night. Oh, and another one down here, I see. 2 more down there I missed. So these will be a small variety for pickling. Finding quite a ways out here. More cucumbers here. They're beginning to produce. There's a slick kind. Another one over there I've missed. Most of the tomato plants I'll probably be removing. This is watermelon vines. I've got to get in here and remove tomato plants here as well. Got the grape tied up, so hopefully that one will be ready to go. 3 bales of straw left waiting there. Several onions went to seed over here and I didn't pay no attention, so I'll try to save seed off of those if I can instead of harvesting a bulb. Grapes are getting some nice size. Hopefully will be ripening probably in the next month. My latest tomatoes to go out, some new varieties to try. The others are putting on tomatoes. Quite slow about it, other than the yellow pears. They are loading up quite nicely. and will probably be ripening soon. Still lots of clover. I'll have to put cardboard down back here to eliminate this. More grapes. They are loaded as well. This vine is loaded as well. It is also slowly beginning to ripen. So this is more than likely an earlier grape. I know there's a lot more hidden in here. So sadly my grapes do ripen one at a time rather than the whole clump. So it's not exactly harvestable to sell. Lots of weeds still on this end. This will be a project for the next maybe the weekend. Have got clear to here. It's supposed to be 95 over the weekend, so I may not want to be out here. Another bunch of grapes looks to be trying to ripen. These I haven't had before either. These are some more Concords in here. The ones ripening are Thompson grapes. So those may be the next edible ones. These here are green grapes. They'll be ripening before the Concords. Kind of difficult to tell when they begin to ripen, but they do swell a little larger and change in color some. But they are loaded clear down to the corner. Do have a bad one on it I'll remove. Irrigation is in down here in the corner. I don't know if I showed that in the last video or I've just got it done since then. So these have been watered. Some grapes to put in pots and sell. Strawberry patch. It's been somewhat mulched, but still needs weeded and mulched more. Still haven't got the label made. This is a new mushmelon, I believe. I have planted some asparagus along here in the last couple of days. It's set up with each drip so I can water it. I'll put in a few more along here, and then once they're rooted in well, I'll move the drip line to the other side of the patch and plant another row, or the raised bed, and plant another row there on the under the drip, so they'll have a better chance of surviving. And then probably wild strawberries along these two as well. Wild strawberries, when they're thicker and larger, will keep the weeds down, hopefully, in the patches. Definitely got to do some cleaning out of a little bit of everything when I get to this side. A couple of potatoes on the surface. I'll have to just replant those. Once they get sunburned, they're slightly toxic. Onions need to be weeded, and many of them is going to have to come out. They really didn't get much size to them this year. Some of them are the size of a nickel I've been pulling out. Peppers I see are just now producing. These are still quite young, thin, but hopefully soon. Purple peppers. These are supposed to be black square, but they are a purple long pepper. There are several of those ready to harvest in there. So I'll have to come up with something to cook with them. Maybe fry some onions and peppers and throw them on a taco. Nice white one turned yellow. Some beautiful flowers blooming. Eggplants have little black specks. Those are flea beetles. Those need to be sprayed and killed here quickly, probably before it rains. Sweet corn over here, a later patch, is doing quite well. I believe there's a couple just getting ready to tossle in there. Some cucumbers come up volunteer inside, so I'll have to keep an eye on them when picking. Some tomatoes have set nicely, some's still young from being replaced. Couple in the distance there beginning to ripen. Those are some of the earlier pineapple tomatoes that started setting. Green bean, I'll need to try to remember where he's at to pick. Several tomatoes sitting on here. Hopefully they won't sunburn. They're right at the top. Again, more set right at the top. More down below too. Some of these plants have very few tomatoes, and others are just loaded. I believe this is the constellation of these. Don't know if it's been too warm or what, but all the bloom stems are just dying. So many of them didn't produce. Here's a later one. Been a cooler the last couple of weeks, so maybe I'll get a few more up above here. Okra ought to be blooming any day now, so hopefully there'll be a crop to start picking. A few more tomatoes. There's one starting to turn red down there. Hopefully these will keep producing well and be ripening soon. These are porterhouse, a new one. Don't know what they taste like. I almost thought by the looks of the plant this might have been a Constellate Genovese got planted over here, or a pineapple, but it is turning red down there, so I would say neither of those due to the size and shape. Potatoes have kind of died back, but are starting to try to grow again. If I don't dig them, I will definitely have to put some more mulch on top. That one will need dug. It's dead there. Some more peas. More flowers, of course. Pulling in butterflies soon. These could be harvested and dried. I can't think what they're called. They also called a pot marigold. They're good for skin ointments and such. Oh, I forgot about these flowers. Quite unique in color. And then I had one that's apparently mixed and is striped right down the middle. I thought that was pretty neat. Probably won't be able to reproduce that way, but he definitely got cross-pollinated on that seed. Another pineapple here. I picked 2 zucchinis so far. Rutger tomatoes are trying to set. Now some of these were replaced and are a lot smaller, but the older ones are definitely setting. I believe this is a Rutgers as well. Of course, the leaves are a lot different, but there's a turmeric plant next to it. And it seems like every time I have a large or many large turmerics next to plants, the entire plant leaves everything strengthens and becomes stronger. So these are eggplants. This is where the turmeric was last year. They are doing really well. Turmeric here this year, and this is a volunteer tomato. Here are some tomatoes, and they just keep blooming. This is one stem here. I'm thinking this might be a yellow one, but I don't know. And up here will be another stem of blooms. And then another is beginning to form. So I'm going to leave it, single prune it up to this post and let it grow right on up to the top of my trellis and see how it does in the turmeric patch. The leaves on the beans, of course, is great big compared to most normal sized bean leaves. Probably due to the turmeric. This is the third year I've noticed the effect. Bell pepper in a pot. It's needing definitely to get picked off. I keep forgetting it's here. So now I've forgotten the date, but that is the garden for today. Wednesday, I believe it was July 15th. One more spot there to still weed, and much of the one side of the garden will be mostly done. The other side is a large amount done.